Alright then folks, Ryan here coming to you with a brand new video. And as you can see from my title, make your life more easier and peaceful. And human beings, we tend to make our lives more complicated and more difficult. And also more um, problematic. We create these problems, these drama, and all these tensions into our lives. Not sure why we do those things, but we tend to make things a lot harder and a lot more complicated than they really need to be. You can see this in dating, where um, you know, see, like some women, and you looked at the girl and you look at the guy, and you are wondering, hey Christy, how are you? And you look at the girl, you look at the guy, and you be like, why would you be chasing this guy down? Look at him and look at you. Not that anything is wrong with the girl, but why would you want to go after a guy like that? He's making your life a living hell. He's very difficult to deal with. He's very hard for you to lock down. But they tend to go for um, guys like that. You can see this with guys. So it's like, seriously, if you are 5'6", then from somewhere, have a little job, and you are just working in a regular 9 to 5 job, and you are trying to go after a girl who is like a 8, 9, or a 10, you're gonna have a ton of difficulty locking down a girl like that. She's getting so much attention from other men, and you with your little job that you have, it's just not gonna work. All right. So we tend to make our lives harder. Meanwhile, just find somebody who is like easier for you and them to get along and communicate and so forth. Life will be a lot easier. Same thing for friends. Don't try to get into the friend group which doesn't really accept you in there. You are not welcome in there. You are not accepted, and you can tell, you can feel it by the way how they talk to you, by the way how they treat you. You are just not welcome in that group. Find friends who welcome you, accept you, and you don't have the force to be in that group. It's easy for you to be in that group. You are making your life more easier and more peaceful. You don't have to be resentful at all when you do the things that's the easiest. I did this in my own life when I'm trying to work on certain things. I look for the things that's the easiest for me to do and do it. Even when I go down to the gym and I'm having a rough day and I'm trying to get started, and my mind is not allowing me to get started in the gym, I look for the easiest workout that I can do, and I start with that workout. Yeah, exactly. You know, and I just look for the easiest workout to do, and I do that workout. When you are trying to force things, sometimes it just doesn't work. And this is when you're gonna have to learn how to just look for the easiest path, easiest way. I'm not saying the easiest path and the easiest way is the best way. Sometimes it isn't. Sometimes you have to look for a path that is gonna be rough, and you're gonna have to drill through those rocks, in order for you to create your path, your way, your freeway, your highway, your road. Right? You're gonna have to do some work sometimes because it's very difficult, and that's understandable. In that case, different stuff, because that's something that you have to do to get to the other side of the mountain. You're gonna have to bore through, get through there with your chisel and your drill and your whatever you have to use to make that road to get you through there. Your dynamites, whatever. You know, but in most cases, you're not gonna have to do that in most cases. And that's just a very different, or maybe rare cases that you might have to do something like that. But for the most part, your life is going to be easy if you do the things that's the easiest for you to do. You know, people talk about drawing and you know how difficult art is and drawing is. And when you look at the figure, the stick figure on the back of vehicles, you realize I I learned that that person actually got rich off of making those little stick figures. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? That was probably the easiest thing for that person to do. Make a little circle, put some eyes in there, little mouth, whatever, few little freaking hands and feet, and actually make a lot of money from off of it. So just look for the things that's easiest for you to do and do it, and stop making your life so hard. We do tend to make our lives really, really hard, and we like to complicate things. Like these days, what I do these days, I look for the people who are the easiest to deal with, and I just get along with those people easily and effortlessly. Some people are just very difficult to get along with. Those people, I leave them alone. I stay away from them. I'm not gonna try to force anything here. I'm not pulling teeth. I am not going to try to force water uphill. No, not doing that. Right? Just look for what's the easiest thing for you to do and start doing them. And make your life, less stressful. Because you see, stress wasn't meant to last for a long time. Not as long as we let it last. Back in the caveman days, every once in a while you come across a saber-tooth tiger. Chases you down, you run away. Then next thing you know, you are back to normal again. You've been like, whoop, that was close. And you walk over to the tree, grab your bunch of berries, sitting down, and you ate your bunch of berries, and you were good again. How we live today in today's world, where the stress is constant, is continuous, right? It's every day. That's not how we were meant to live. So you want to make your life as least stressful as possible for a short period of time. I noticed I used to I still do. I like debating. But I notice how hard it is when you are trying to explain to somebody sometimes. And I start to look at that, and I begin to think, is it my job to educate this person and school them and teach them things that they don't know? Is that my job? Really? And I begin to look at that, and it isn't. So now, if I'm going to have a conversation and I get any kind of resistance from that person, I am just going to just leave it right where it is. It's not my job to educate you. It's not my job to school you and put you in your place and teach you a lesson. And no, those are things that I'm not going to be doing. I want my life to be easy. I do not want to have to spend 10 stressful minutes trying to talk to somebody. I'm not doing it. You're going to have to start implement some of that into your own life as well. Living a peaceful, we are learning how to live a peaceful lifestyle here. So we want to go to bed peaceful and wake up peaceful. When we are out there in the world interacting with other people, it's going to be a peaceful interaction, a peaceful communication. In some cases, if I have to go talk to that person to let them know that, look, what you are doing here, it's not okay with me, then I will do that. If I do not have to talk to you about it, even more better. I don't want to talk to you at all. I would just don't even bother with you anymore because, yeah, I don't feel like I should um, waste my time talking to people who are difficult to deal with. Easy life, easy lifestyle. Same thing. We are going into business and we look for the hardest business to get into. Why not try something easy? I remember when I was trying to start this business here, I was doing it the hard way. If I did it the way how I thought, because that way was the easiest way for me, if I would have done it that way, it would have been way more smooth, and that would be my gateway into the business. The things that I do, that I'm really good at, or that I should say, yeah, that I'm good at. I'm better at these things than other things. Friendships slash relationships, fitness, education. I can do these things for a long time without going crazy. I am better at these things. So I put more of my attention on these things. Great conversations and so forth. Life, it makes things easy for me. If I should go out there becoming, trying to become an engineer and learn all these complicated numbers, could I do that? Most likely. Why on earth would I want to do something which I don't think I even like stuff like that. It's gonna be extremely difficult for me to do. I would do it if I have to. I don't have to do it. And I do not want to do it. It's too hard, it's too difficult, and it's not necessary for me to do that at this time. The things that is easy for me, that is what I am going to do. I can get up, put on my running shoes, and go run. Running is easy for me. I can go into the gym, start working out. That's easy for me. I can walk out there in the street, start talking to somebody, make friends with them, develop a relationship quickly with those people. That's easy for me to do. I can do that without even thinking about it. Those are the things that I do. Now, for you now, who might be making your life extremely difficult because you are trying to do things which is extremely hard for you. Take a look. Take a look. Brooklyn, happy. Oh no, not yet. Okay, when your birthday. Okay, when your birthday come, we will say happy birthday to you when it comes. What we can say it now. I do not know what you are saying. When you say, "Do you believe in God?" What do you mean? That question is a very complicated question for me. So I wouldn't answer it until you can clarify to me what do you mean by when you say, "Do you believe in God?" Explain to me what do you mean. I don't. That question is a very complicated question. So I need some clarification, so that way, if you want me to answer you. Um, so you are asking me a personal question. If I'm a Christian, you're asking me a personal question. You can't do that. You cannot do that. You cannot do that at all. You can't be asking those personal questions. All right? So we are not going to have that conversation. Yeah. Questioning my religion or my spirituality, that's not good. Mhm. Depends on what you are talking about. Depends on what you are talking about there. I don't understand the question. If I believe in Jesus, These are complicated questions you are asking here. These are not just yes or no questions. These are things that has to be explained. You know, spirituality is complicated, and everybody has their own definition of what God is. Even even the man you call Jesus Christ, people have their own definition of that person. So these are questions that we can't really say yes or no to. Depends on who you talk to, and that's the why these denominations. That's why they have like over 1 million denominations, and they do not believe on any one specific things. They believe they have a whole bunch of different beliefs and all these things. All right, so yeah, I can't answer you on those with those at all unless we have the time to sit down and I can see where you're coming from, so I can understand you a little bit more and trying to see what you are trying to get at, and then we might can find some common ground and I can answer some of your questions. But for right now, too complicated to get into. Yeah, but that is spirituality, and it's very it can get very confusing at the same time. So I avoid getting into any um debating or any type of that stuff, like because if you see my topic, it's about how to make my life easier and peaceful. So religion is a very complicated topic, and it makes people go crazy, nuts, and they want to fight each other, and who is right and who is wrong and all that stuff. Yeah. Well, hey, some people. Well, I think this guy's the cross himself, man. He's both God and the cross, okay? That's what I see going on here. This guy is absolutely crazy. All right? So, that's another complicated character again. And what I'm seeing going on here, I looked at them and I said, "My God, America is doing things the hard way. They could make life a lot more easier, but they are not doing it. They are making their lives harder than it really is." Well, I think he's close. Cause you can't just go over to somebody's country and kidnap the guy and his wife. I appreciate it, Goggins. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. You can't just go over to somebody's country and kidnap him and his wife. Okay? But obviously, this person went over there. I'm like, okay, I can see if you kidnap the man, but his wife, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to kidnap his wife? This poor lady, probably she has nothing to do with any of what they are saying. It's absolutely crazy. So here we are in a country which claim that they have women's rights and all of this stuff. I haven't heard these women come out and said anything about this. I found that very interesting. Release the lady, let her go back to her country, and it's like just I can't even wrap my mind around it. But this is what America has come to. This is the new America we're living in now. Anybody who believes that this is going to stop with immigrants and foreign dictators are totally mistaken. They are totally wrong. You, the leftist people, when this guy named Adolf Hitler came to power in Germany, one of the reasons why he came to power, to do what? Was to exterminate the leftists. And he did just that. Now you see this guy here went over to Venezuela and kidnapped the president, realized that he kidnapped a leftist president. Okay? So it's the war on leftist people. This has been going on for a very, very long time. Some people don't understand it. One day, the leftist people will walk up to it and we will see what will happen. But that's what's going on here. Has nothing to do with um, illegal substance contrabands or anything like that. It has to do with he is a leftist president and America despise deeply. They have a deep hatred for leftists. That's the reason why they support Adolf Hitler. Wall Street supports Adolf Hitler. America supports Adolf Hitler. Okay? Here you go. So you're looking for some answers. That's what's really going on there with that case. And you know, look, only a matter of time before the concentration camp start to go up. I heard that they were whisking off illegals and putting them in camps on some island somewhere. I'm not sure where they were doing this. But we don't even know where those people are gone. Those illegal peoples. We don't know. You know? Yeah. Yeah, so that's what I'm talking about, folks. We just have to be vigilant, keep watchful, be watchful, and be observant. And make sure that we don't have this type of stuff. You know, we don't let these type of people in our lives. The criminals. Because that's what these people are. All of them are goddamn criminals. Every single one of them. Bloody criminals. You know? So yeah. We are at a time right now where we need peace more than ever. But this is crazy. I did not... If somebody would have told me this was the America we're going to be living in very shortly, I would not believe them at all. I kind of knew the tendency was there already. I knew it was there. Because after reading their history, I'm like, yeah. Have you ever seen anybody have any type of discussion with them before? You know, the American Madman. Have you ever seen anybody sit down and have a true discussion with them and they said, okay, all right, you get this, I get that, and we are going to be fair and square? Have you ever seen that before? Never happened in their history, in their 200 and something years history. Never happened before. They are not people you can talk to. And I know this might hurt hurt the patriots' feelings. Oh, you're an immigrant, blah, blah, blah. And that's okay. Yep. Yep. So there you go. That's the world we're living in now. Where, oh, hi Ruthless Ruth, how are you? Appreciate you. Good to see you on here. So we're living in a world now where men can go kidnap women from their country and bring them over to another country and put them on trial. You know? Yeah. Yep. So that's it right now. When did we start kidnapping women again? When did this stuff becomes legal or okay or acceptable? Try come to America and kidnap any woman from off of the street, and you see what happened. Try that. But Americans can go to other people to go to another country and kidnap women, because that's what they did there. They kidnapped this lady. You know. Exactly, because that's what happens there. That's what happens there, right? That's what happens there. So we are having a serious, we are living in a serious time right now. So yeah. You know what? A lot of people are moving from out of the West. They are doing it. They are really moving from the West. And I understand why. With this type of, you know, craziness, this nutsiness, this lack of respect for international law, um, yeah. So, yeah, we are dealing with psychopaths here. People who have no regards whatsoever. Okay? Do you want oil that bad? You know? Do you want resources that bad? Oh, we have a way of getting resources from people. It's called purchasing it. Mm-hmm. You give them money and they give you the oil. How about that? Could you do it that way? No. You see, I have guns, big guns, and I can point them at you and force you to give me your resources. It's called extortion last time I checked. That's what we put people for in prison here, don't we? I'm telling you folks, this is getting out of control, getting out of hand. What do we do now? You know? Yep. Exactly. So, no respect, no appreciation for life. Hi, how are ya? Meredith, appreciate you. Appreciate. Good to see you back. Yeah, no respect, none of that stuff. So here we are right now, folks, trying to figure out where the hell is this going? What's next? What's next? You know, I did not know the day was gonna come when I see men are kidnapping women illegally, kidnapping women. Send this lady back to her country. Put her back on the plane, send her back to her country. I cannot understand. Men can now go out and kidnap women. It's fascinating to me. Women's rights? I thought they have rights. We go to Afghanistan, we raise hell in Afghanistan because you know why? Women in Afghanistan didn't have rights, and we go crazy over it. Any country where women doesn't have rights, we go nuts over here about it because women's rights and women needs to have rights. Okay, so if it's true, if that's true, release the lady, let her go home, back to her house where she was. Instead of you have her locked up in prison somewhere in New York. She's not a bloody Yankee. She doesn't speak English, by the way. Well, maybe she does. I don't know. But she doesn't want to be here, dude. She wants to be on her island, on her beachfront, on her lawn chair with her whatever cocktail she's sipping on there. Yes, she doesn't want to be here, locked up in your prison. Free her so that women can go home and go be with her family. Absolute sickening when you think about it. Right? These are the people who we are dealing with. Folks, I'm gonna leave it there. I got into politics here. I was trying to avoid that, but hey, sometimes we just have to say some things that's affecting us, and this is one of them. We can't trust what they say anymore. Free Mrs. Maduro, and send her home. Yeah, she doesn't need to be locked up in prison. Um, for because that's just blatantly disrespectful, and the you know the women the women's rights that we think we have, there are no more women's rights. Yep, it's sickening. It is sickening. It is. It is, Christy. Believe me. I was so this morning. I woke up this morning. I was so angry this morning when I woke up this morning. I'm like, why? What's going on with you here, dude? What's up with you? You know. Well, all right then, folks. Ryan here with a new video. Looking forward to see you soon in a brand new video. And hopefully, we will overcome this mad administration. What you want to call it? Administration? No, it is a mad administration. That's what it is. Full of madmen. Okay? Take care, folks. Good night. Talk to you soon. And looking forward to see you soon in a brand new video. Bye for now. Don't forget to like and subscribe though. Comment down below.